Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring your girl, Nico Robin. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP11 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which we don't really see that often, whether it's at locals or here on the YouTubes. I wanted to do something a little bit different today and come at you guys with an aggro deck in which we haven't got to play around with in a very, very long time outside of Yamato, which today was supposed to be Yamato. But I wanted to do something with Nico Robin, in which I rarely get to do here on the channel. I think this might be the second time I featured this leader, which is very, very unfortunate, let alone this leader is very fun. The decks can be built in numerous different ways, in which today we're going to show you something very, very spicy. Let's get into it. Today we're going to be utilizing a lot of stuff in which is particular. Today we're going to be playing around with a bunch of cards in which you guys might normally see in Nico Robin. Things like Jaguar D Soul, Brûlé, Nico Robin herself, Bon Clay, but with my own little bit of spice on here with Eustace Captain Kidd and the brand new 6-drop Luffy that came out in ST26. These two cards in this deck make this leader quite disgusting. Being able to be a 7k lead for base power until your opponent's next turn, or end of your opponent's next turn, is very, very strong. Being able to swing out with 7k with no Dawn attached with Banish is kind of spooky. On top of that, we are also utilizing the 7-drop Eustace Kidd. So in theory, you can become an 8k leader until your start of your next turn, which is very, very spooky. We're also utilizing the 1-drop Nico Olivia. You guys already know what this is. On your first swing, you can drop this on board and swing for 10k with Banish 9 out of 10 times. And your opponent typically doesn't guard it, which is kind of nice. Outside of that, we're utilizing the 8-cost Katakuri. And I'll be fair, there aren't a lot of games in which I wish I drew this or wish I had this in hand, because the games don't last that long. But when they do, if you need the blocker, you have access to this guy who's very, very strong in the current metagame. And speaking of which, we're also utilizing Bon Clay. This isn't a need, alright? He has dropped down in price, so he's a little bit more, I don't want to say cheap, but readily available, alright? We'll put it that way. In any case, this isn't a need for this particular build. I decided to throw him in here just because you guys will be playing against a lot of Luffy variants out there who utilize 8-cost Katakuri. They also utilize the Sanji, the blue one of course, and then they also utilize the 9-mob. So, having access to all of those characters make your Bon Clay very, very strong. And Luffy doesn't have a lot of removal, therefore Bon Clay can get a couple big hits in, on top of your leader already having Banish, which is scary enough in itself. We are going to be utilizing 4 Gum Gum Giants, of course, because, you know, Straw Hats lead. And then we're going to be playing around with this 1-cost event. This might be the bread and butter here when it comes to synergy with this deck. This allows you to search out your Captain Kidds and your Luffys. Having both of these on board is just very, very difficult for your opponent to remove. Each and every turn you minus 2 Dawn, right? And you get 1 Dawn back from Captain Kidd, of course. So basically this is 1 Dawn becomes 7k lead. And you're going to see how fast this deck can go in a split second. If you notice, we're at 49 out of 51 cards. The last 2 slots, at least for my list, are quite flexible. So it's going to depend on your local meta scene. I've been playing around with the 8-cost Katakuri. Mind you, you can take this out. This doesn't hurt the deck by any means by not using this card. He's kind of here just to be able to, you know, put this on life or put a 8-cost Eustace Kidd on life. And it doesn't necessarily matter of which one. You can remove this one. You can remove the green one. It depends on, like I said, your local scene. If you're running around with a lot of Bonnies there, 8-cost Katakuri might be relevant. If not, you guys have access to the good old Ragnarok, because this does the exact same thing as Katakuri, except for it's cheaper, and it has a trigger in which you can throw away with Nico Robin and get the ramp up if need be. This alone also removes 8-cost Katakuris, both variants, Kids, and things of that nature. The other 2 cards I've been playing with here are going to be the 9-cost Linlin, which is very, very strong in our own right. Being able to remove Cavendishes on board, you know, with a 5-drop, and healing yourself is pretty strong. And then, of course, you have Sanji, the purple one, which you guys might see in a lot of variants of Nico Robin. Being able to rest a 6-cost or lower is quite strong. And then the last one would be Luffy, the 9-drop Luffy. Or you can also utilize the 6-drop Luffy here, which is very, very good. But it does clash with the other 6-drops that you guys want to play on curve. But the other one would be the 9-drop Luffy that you can utilize here as well. In any case, let's go ahead and dive into a bunch of games. See you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Coming at you guys with Nico Robin playing into Kobe and OP11. In which this is something we haven't done in a very, very long time. I miss you guys. We've been sitting here playing a bunch of locals content here on the channel. And I still have tons more putting stuff to post. But I do want to get into some deck profiles here. And I've been having a lot of fun with Robin as of late. I know Yamato is supposed to show up. But this is something I haven't gotten to do in a very long time. And play this leader here. So I want to go ahead and showcase this deck list to you and see what you guys thought about it, or at least see if you guys had something similar. Drop it down in the comments below. We'll talk about it. In any case, we're going to go ahead and play into this matchup today. I have no idea how many games we're going to do, aggro, but we'll get a few of them out of the way for you. In any case, let's go ahead and drop down our good old Nico Olivia here. Get the boost up. Or sorry, Robin, my bad. We'll do Robin. We'll burn first. We go 5 lead. Unfortunately, I could not go Olivia or Luffy this turn, just because we have to play the Robin on curve to get the free life burn. At least we get another card out of hand, because he doesn't want to go down to 1, let alone get another banish for free. But we have 2 Pawseplays, which against any other deck, they're very, very good. In Kobe, a lot of his cards allow him to attack active characters, so Pawseplay doesn't get a lot of value here in this matchup, which is unfortunate, but they can become a problem if he does not have the resources to deal with them on the turn in which we're going to drop them. Because I like to at least try to keep 2 Pawseplays and drop them down on the exact same turn, if possible, this matchup, and see what if he can clear both. But we'll see. Because Helm Eppo, 9-drop Kobe, or sorry, 8-drop Kobe are going to be very, very problematic. Because they're going to clear a lot of my characters on board for free. Oof. Yeah, that's fine. Ooh. We can pitch the Katakuri here. Because Katakuri is not going to get a lot of value in this matchup. And I guess we'll get rid of the Soul here as well. Typically, Kata would be very, very good, but Kobe has an ability where he can just bottom deck 3 cards from the trash and protect his character. So, let's go ahead and drop down another one. And then we'll drop Nico Robin here, or sorry, Nico Olivia. Get the boost, go 9 lead, in hopes we can banish a life. I mean, he is a 6k lead, so it's a little bit easier for him to guard, but I'll take the cards out of hand. Yes, sir. That was quite a bit, though. He really only has 2 attackers on board right now, so 3 cards left in hand, which kind of tells me he also doesn't have a lot of counter left. Borsalino, sure. So he's going to be killing a Pawseplay, which is unfortunate. Okay, so that's gone. Fair. I'm not sure why he decided to choose the Helm Eppo over the Aramaki to attack Pawseplay, but, each their own. Go 6 here. I can't really do much about that. Get another useless kid. I would imagine just goes 9 here. What would you leave up for 1 Dawn? I don't even think they play events for 1 Dawn. I guess Radical Beam's still a thing, but I don't think I've ever seen that in Kobe list, so. I guess we'll do the thing here, boys. We'll swing in with Pawseplay, we'll copy Helm Eppo, and then we can go huge with Robin as well. I'm just gonna go face. Because we do have the Gum Gum Giant, and I feel a little safe behind the Luffy plus the Giant, so. Unfortunately, we only can go 8 here. We don't really need to do this either. Nice. I believe we've banished all of his life, actually. Because we got off 2 swings plus the 6-drop Nico Robin in our last swing here. No, sorry. We've banished all but one because Clay got an attack off. So he gets a Kuzan. Trash 3. Yep. I think he needs more blockers here. And sometimes I feel like once Robin gets rolling and you guys kind of just see the nuts, you see the nuts, right? That is the name of the game when you're playing an aggro list, but still. Interesting. Not sure why you decided to choose Olivia, but we'll take that. Okay, 7 lead. Why wouldn't he have gone... Huh. 7 with Hamepo, save the Dawn, and go 5 into Clay. Or 2 into Clay, and 7 into me. Because he could have swung 7-7, or Amaki kills the Clay. Interesting. 8 into Luffy. We do have to do Giant here too. That does kind of suck, but we're still fine. Doesn't really matter which one we get rid of here. I think Kid has a little bit more value. Sure. And that should be game. Yeah. Not bad. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game. Come at you guys with Nico Robin, playing into Trafalgar Law and OP11 here. This is a very, very scary matchup to deal with due to the fact that Law has Hody Jones. He also utilizes quite a bit of blockers in the early game, whether it's going to be the 3-drop Jewelry Bunny, the yellow one, and or Capone, the 2-cost, or the 5-cost blocker Law. He has quite a bit to be able to deal with this deck. Unfortunately, I do have to be mindful of Hody and the 8-cost Eustace Kid. So, hopefully we can get this game over with prior to him being able to stabilize. There goes the first 7-drop Law, so that's 1 heal taken away, which is kind of nice. Our hand's looking pretty good here. We have the Giant, we have the Eustace Kid. And thankfully, Law doesn't typically have a lot of removal outside of Zeus if he's playing with that. And in this matchup, playing Zeus to burn life against Robin might not be the best case scenario, so. Not that he probably still won't do it, but we'll see. I guess we can take a couple hits early game. There's another blocker. That's nice to see. So that'll come in handy in the late game. Yep. He's not going to bounce Bonnie here. At least I wouldn't imagine. Yeah, okay, cool. That's 2 blockers. We get a Clay. Playing Clay lets us ramp, though. And then perhaps we can utilize this for later if he drops Law. It could be interesting. Nah. Let's get Kid on board. I think having Kid here is probably the better option. Let's go ahead and drop Clay here. We get a free Dawn back. We can either play another blocker down and go 8k lead. I'd rather just go 8k lead just to force out the Jewelry Bonnie blocker here. I think that's the better case scenario. We don't really need the Giant right now, so that's okay. And I don't necessarily need to ramp, but 4, 5, 6, 7. We go to 8. Yeah. We're not utilizing the 9-drop Mom or the 9-drop Luffy here in this variant, so I didn't necessarily have to go up to 9 Dawn for the following turn. And we don't have any really big threats in hand, so. Sure. So there's a 2-cost Veggie. He's got 5 Dawn open. This is probably a Cavendish turn here. No. Speaking of Zeus. He's going to Zeus the Clay. Okay. Alright. Plays another blocker down. Goes 6 lead. He Zeused our Clay. Hey, let's go, boys. Not bad. Right off the top. Kind of glad that we didn't drop Kid on board. So, this works out. And now he's in trouble. because now we guarantee cards out of hand and or blockers on board. Being a 7k until the end of his turn is kind of scary. Law doesn't necessarily have a lot of big bodies on board into the late game, but being a 7k, he has to utilize Dawn to attach to something, which kind of harms him a little bit of playing characters on board. Sure. That's 1 2k and a Jewelry Bonnie. 5 cards left in hand. We'll play down another blocker down, and we'll pass it over. So we have 2 blockers up, 7k lead. We're looking pretty good. At this point, Hody Jones could come down. He goes to 0 life. I don't think that would be a play. Okay, so there's Cavendish. He's playing Cavendish down, sure. Yep. Still has 2 blockers. It's going to go 8k face. We'll guard out. He won't be swinging with Law, of course. Another 1-drop Searcher. We have the option for Kid, so of course we're going to play Kid down. Having Kid on board utilizes Luffy's effect and makes it only cost 1 Dawn instead of 2, which is nice. We have 5 Dawn open still. So we have -2, we get 1 Dawn back as active, so that means we have 6 Dawn there. Hopefully this will take care of the 2-cost Veggie on board. No block? No block. Alright. I guess he'd rather take that instead of getting it banished with Nico Robin. Or sorry, with our leader swing, but it'd be what it'd be. We'll go ahead and rest this. I want to force at least one of the 2 blockers here. Because regardless, I think he would have probably either countered out or gave me the Veggie. This way he has to do one or the other. Because if he decided to counter out with the Law blocker, plus cards in hand, he kept the blocker on board. That's my reasoning for the Uso Hachi. I think that's pretty good, but we'll see. We do get 3 cards out of hand, which is nice. If he plays Hody, we're just cooked, so I think we have to keep the Dawn. At least one of the Dawn up. Instead of playing the event here. Sure. Okay. Not bad. Now if he Hodys, I mean, he rests the Kid, he'll rest the Dawn for the Giant, which is okay, just because we're a 7k lead here, and we still have a 0-cost event with 2 life left. So he still has to hit us 3 times to win game. And he doesn't have the Dawn here to be able to do that. Yes, he gets to restand too with the Cavendish effect, but I think we're still fine. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear thunder outside. Apparently that's all it's been doing is thunderstorming as of late, so. Alright, so we get a Giant off life. For some reason, he did not rest my other Dawn here. That kinda is unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I guess that is unfortunate. I don't necessarily know if... Because if you go 7... Yeah, I think if he had rested the other Dawn, he might have won this game here, to be fair. Maybe. We have the 0-cost event, we're at 7k. He plays Hody down. That's 7 Dawn. Swings Cavendish, restands 2 more, so he has, what, 5 Dawn left? I think? That's not math. We'll just watch it back later, it's fine. Hopefully he'll go round 2. Because let's just say that was a misplay or something. Yep. Cool, he's gonna hit me with a round 2, which is nice. Let's do another one. Let's assume that was a misplay. Alright, let's assume it was. I'd have to watch it back during editing here and see if we would have won if he did rest my other Dawn. So we'll see. But I think we were okay. So I don't even remember what my last life was. So we start off with a pretty cracked hand here too. He's gonna go 8 lead. That's kind of crazy, but all right. Sure, we get a searcher. We get nothing. Oh no, we have a giant. We can take giant. That's good. Okay. So we're chilling. We're chilling. We're chilling. Let's go and do the thing. Get the boost up. And I guess we just go 10k face here. We don't have anything else to play down, so. Vanish, please. 11. Sorry, math. Yeah, we'll get rid of Robin here. There goes a Hody. You'd love to see it. Cavendish? Yes? Nope. 8k lead again. Sure. No, actually, we'll give him 2-2ks here. I can't really risk it. Capone. We get a searcher again. As much as I don't like doing this, dropping Luffy without having Kid on board, becoming a 7k lead might be really, really good for next turn. In case he wants to develop a body, he might not be able to hit us. Which is fine, right? And this will force the blocker here. We can just go lead here. Doesn't really matter. Because we're not going to really giant here anyway, are we? That's 5 Dawn. Yeah, we're not really going to giant here. Let's just go face. Go up to 6. Then we're going to go to 8 Dawn next turn. Sure. Now we have 2 options here. Luffy is going to make us become a 7k. If we drop the 7 cost Kid on board, then we'll become an 8k. Which is kind of terrifying, to be fair. Law definitely is not going to touch us for a while at that point. Yep, you can heal up, that's cool. You still can't hit me. Isn't it good? It's so strong, man. This Luffy is so cracked. I can't wait for us to get another Straw Hat lead that's purple. And then we all can use this Luffy and or Gum Gum Giant. That'd be amazing. Sure. Another blocker. You're not going to bounce that back to hand, that's for sure. Yep. A Bond Clay. Nice. Let's go and play Kid down. This will become a 1 instead of a 2, which is nice. We get back the active. And now we can play Bond Clay on board. Get another active Dawn. So now we're at 8, so we'll go to 10 next turn. Let's go 7 lead here. So he's probably going to guard out with Law, then give me a 2k counter. Yep. Oh, no 2ks. Okay. So we got 2 cards out of hand there. We got the Jewelry Bonnie and the Luffy. And we're still a 7k lead with Giant in hand. And I think this turn he has to spend resources to kill Luffy on board. He can't Zeus me, which is nice. So he's going to have to take the 7-drop Law to run into it. Okay. And it looks like if we guard out with Law, or sorry, with Kid, with a Giant, we lose our whole hand. And then he probably is going to kill the other 2 anyway if he has Hody Jones. Because then he'll just rest the Bond Clay and then use the Hody to run into something else, and etc, etc. I think it's better to just let this go. As much as I don't want to. But at least here, if he plays Hody, he has to choose whether or not to rest the Kid and the Dawn, or the Dawn and the Bond Clay. And then he goes down to 1 life with 1 blocker up. Okay. Alright, I like this. But he pops Bond Clay again with Zeus. Okay. I'm not even mad. Okay, 2 blockers. It's becoming an issue now, you know. 6. Yep. You can't play that one, which is nice. He also can't utilize room here. I mean, he can go 7 and save the Dawn up, but it's a little bit easier for me to counter out. What you gonna do here? He's gonna go 8 lead. That's fine. Katakuri. Robin, which is very unfortunate right now. Both of them are actually pretty unfortunate here. I don't really want to play down Katakuri either. I'd much rather have the Eustace Kid on board. Now that's kind of strange, but we become a 6k lead for free, which is nice. Going 7k makes it a little bit easier for him to deal with, because it's only a law block and a 2k. Yeah, this at least gives us 3 extra Dawn. Because if we play Katakuri down and he drops a Hody the following turn, he can just rest both blocker, sorry, both Dawn, or a blocker and a Dawn. So we'll do this instead. We get 4 Dawn left, go up to a 6k. And I think we need to at least leave 1 Dawn active. We have to have 3 here. As much as I wanted to go 8, if we leave 2 Dawn up and he drops Hody, then we're just cooked, because we can't use Giant. So, yep, there's that. Let's go 6 here into Law. Just to get more cards out of hand, or possibly remove this blocker off the board. Yep, another 2k. I think we're fine here, even with Hody Jones. Because he still has to hit us 3 times. Plus, we have the Giant in hand. So that in itself makes us a 10k. But surely he has to try to go for game this turn. Because he's not going to survive the next one. Because we get the 7-cost kid is probably going to stick on board here. This one can go. And appreciate it if you give me some free cards. Thank you. Cool. He's got 5 open. Actually, this is really good. I'll save this. This might allow us to do a lot more pressure next turn. We'll play the trigger. We get a Soul, Brûlé, and a Gum Gum. We can get rid of the Robin. For sure. We have double blockers in hand. There's a Bonnie. She's going to freeze Dawn, yep. I'm not sure why that was the play there, but I mean, it works out, I guess. Remember, he has the 7-drop Law in life right now. We definitely need to put Luffy on board here. So I think this guarantees us to survive next turn. If he plays another big body down. Yep, because now we're an 8k lead. Terrifying. This will give him the 7-drop Law, which is fine. We can't play a blocker down, and we cannot do anything else with the rest of our Dawn here. We need to keep 3 up, just in case of the Hody Jones. And we'll pass here. So now we have Giant in hands, along with another 1k, which we should be fine here. Yep. Rest 2 Dawn. So now we can only utilize 1 Giant. It's going to go 8k. We'll give him the Brûlé. He's got 3 Dawn left. It's so cool, man. Becoming an 8k lead is just... What do you do? He's got all these bodies on board, and he can't even establish Dawn to be able to swing. Just kind of nutty. We have to use this. And we get nothing. That's fine. That's totally cool. I was looking for at least another 1k or 2k counter or whatever, but that's alright. We have the Giant in hand. I think we're fine anyway. I'll do that. We'll trash this. Boost myself. There's Nico Olivia. Well played, man. Well played. give us a little boost here. Let's just go 7 lead. Look at that, 10k. Nuts. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, rapid fire. Come at you guys with another matchup today with Nico Robin playing into Boa Hancock. Yes, I get it. Boa is not necessarily a meta-defining deck right now, nor is Robin, so it's fine. It's okay. I'm giving you guys more games. Let's get into it. This matchup shouldn't be that difficult. I do know that as a Boa player, we have a lot of 2k counters, so being able to just get cards out of hand early here is very, very good for us. But 10k lead on the first swing is just, oof. That's a lot of cards, man. That's 3 2k counters. And sometimes Boa does have it, but getting off 1 to 2 banishes in the early game can really just, it hurts a lot of decks here. We've got 4, which means this might be a law play. Yep, sure. No problem. We'll just play it back down. That's fine. Get a boost. 5 Dawn active. We can do a lot here. We can play Bond Clay here. We can go 8 lead. We can play Useless Kid. I'd rather have the kid on board right now, in case she does have a way of removing it, because she does go to 6 Dawn next turn with Jozu, and that's totally fine. She can play Jozu down, bounce Law back to hand, give us back the kid. I'm cool with that. And I think that's what she's probably going to do here. We'll take the hit. There's Luffy. We'll guard this one. She's got 6. She's definitely going to bounce kid back to hand. Yep. Nice. So now, we just play Luffy down. Right? We play Luffy here. And then force her to have another way of removing it. Or we drop double Bond Clay. Let's play double Bond. No. Let's do Luffy. Luffy's cool. Luffy's cool. We'll do this. Give us another boost. We have 2 Dawn open. I don't really see myself doing Gum Gum Giant here, so I don't really mind attaching more Dawn. Let's go 11 lead. We don't have to ramp. And we don't have anything to throw away anyway. That is a Gravity Blade, which is pretty good for us. Actually, really good for us. Alright, she's on 7 Dawn. So hopefully she does not have another Gravity Blade in hand. Or a way of dealing with Luffy. Which she could Red Rocket if she has it. And go 9 lead. 4 Dawn for Jozu, the swing. Or plays down Law. Or blockers. Let's take this hit on the Jozu. And we'll guard out this one. Nice. Okay. Oh. Okay, she is going to go for it. Cool, yeah, that's fine. You got it. Trigger. This is actually really good. All of those are really good to choose down. There's a Katakuri. She has to start putting down bodies on board here. Not bad. Another giant. Let's go. This is prime for pudding, so that would suck. Let's go ahead and do the thing. This will get back another Dawn as active. Now let's go lead. Sure. I think the cool thing about this is, being a 7k, it makes it very difficult for Boa to put characters on board and attack me in the same turn. Sure. We'll pass it over here. There's a Kaido. Sure. No. I need this. I'm sorry. For the soul. It's a pretty spooky turn for us, actually. We play down Kid again, and then we have Nico Olivia. They give us the boost, which pushes us up to 8. Luffy will make us a 10k. So we get a Banish Swing. We have 2 Dawn active for Gum Gum Giant. I don't think Boa has a way out here, to be honest. Even with the Kaido being on board. Because now we swing 7, we go 10, Kaido has 12k. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think we're good here. Oh, okay. I guess we're really good here. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, rapid fire, come at you guys with another one with Nico Robin playing into Charlotte Katakuri here in OP11, in which I feel like this leader also doesn't get enough love. I get it. People feel he's a little lackluster, but at the end of the day, it's Katakuri. He's gonna get buffed. He's gonna get more cards. Just give him time. Perhaps, maybe people haven't found the, the code to crack yet for this deck. Who knows? But in any case, it doesn't look like he found Pawseplays off the search, so hopefully he has it in hand, considering he decided to keep the hand. It be what it be. We're going to go ahead and do the thing we normally would. We're going to go 8k to face. We're going to pitch the Gum Giant in hand here. Gain the Dawn. Hopefully do a banish this turn. I mean, giving me 2/2ks, I'll take that. I'd rather get the banish, but 2/2ks is good. We're going up to 6 Dawn next turn, which automatically we have access to the Nico Robin, which will burn a life. And I think that's what we'll do. We'll swing first and play Nico Robin, just in case he lets one attack go through because he doesn't have the counter. And speaking of counter, he gave us a Queen there, which is really good, and a Uso Hachi. So, and he gave us a Dawn minus for his leader ability, which is nice. He would be at 4 Dawn here otherwise. Yep. Goes to the 6. That's fine. Oof, man. Sometimes this card is really good, and then other times I just don't like it in the deck. It's good for what it allows me to do, at least with this list. We run 8 3-cost yellow blockers with the Brûlée and the Soul here, just because they're cheap, and we can pitch them for our leader ability, along with being able to play them from hand for free off a Nico Robin trigger if we have either one of the blockers in hand, which is really, really nice. Let's go 5 first. I really don't want to throw away the Nico Robin here, so, because if we can get this attack to land and play Nico Robin, that'd be really, really good. I imagine he doesn't have a lot of counter left due to what he gave us already, so. If he gave us 8k earlier plus leader skill, I imagine he could be able to guard this one. Cool, there's a Sanji. That's really good for us. Let's go and burn life. And we get a ramp. That's really good. Because he gave us a Dawn earlier before he had the pudding on board. So if he ended up taking that hit, we're going to burn that. Oh, that's right. Never mind. We have banish here too, so never mind. We're chilling. You couldn't have got that regardless. He's in a really bad spot now. Unless he has Pawseplays here. And you can't play a Searcher down to play Pawseplays or to search for Pawseplays because he's at 5 Dawn. So he has to have it here on curve or he's in trouble. Alright, cool. 8 lead. We'll take this hit as well. Oh, I guess you can go 9 here, right? Because he gets the Dawn back for free with Pudding's ability. Yep. Sure. There's a Luffy, or another Luffy. Nico Olivia, that's really good. We'll go give us the boost. We'll play Luffy here as well. So now we're a 10k swing. He has 1 Dawn active. We'll go 10 lead. And we should be able to banish another card here. Oh, okay, maybe not. I'm guessing he's running the 1-cost event. Please have it. 10 out of 10, if you do. Nice. That card is so good. And I feel like a lot of Katakuri players kind of sleep on it and not use it, which is insane. It allows him to become like an extra 5,000 power. With leader skill makes you 11k for that battle. It's kind of nuts. Gum Giant for 1 Dawn. Basically. Except for you don't get to draw cards. Okay, so remember, we're a 7k lead this turn. He's on 6 Dawn here. Because he had to minus again for that turn, which is nice. He would be on 7 because last turn he was on 5. But he had to minus Dawn for his leader skill, which will make him a 6 now. So for 7 Dawn, some decks like to utilize the Sanji, and which he doesn't have access to here. So we go 9k into Robin. Okay, never mind, it's going to lead. Sure. It's not bad. Actually, I'll trigger this time. just because we can kind of clean hand a little bit. Because we can get rid of the other Luffy in hand here. And maybe the Robin. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we draw first. Alright, we're going to save this Olivia. 6 here. We'll counter this out. We'll give him the Robin. Or sorry, the kid. We'll give him the Robin here. Go to 9 Dawn. This will put us to 8. Luffy puts us to 10. But we also need to drop Eustace Kid on board. There we go, for free. This goes 7. This will cost 1. And the Dawn comes back as active, which is really good. And then sometimes when we're at this awkward curve here, we have 4 Dawn for free. Typically you save 1 Dawn in the late game for Gum Gum Giant, so you have 3 Dawn left over, which really helps out considering our blockers are 3 cost. So you have an opportunity of playing down a blocker if you have it in hand while having a Giant up, which seems to be pretty good here. I may opt to try to fit in Shirahoshi's or Viola's just to have a cheaper blocker, but I have to change the deck a little bit more if I want to do that. Banish, please. Just let it happen. You don't need it. Nice. There's the mom. So we got quite a bit of cards, man. We got a Ragnarok, we got a 10 cost Lin Lin, a Sanji, Usohachi, and a Queen so far. Which, that's a lot of his late game pieces. Like, Queen would help him stabilize and draw cards. Ooh. Well played. Okay, alright. Let's go to the next one. Hey look, another scary matchup in today's metagame. Meanwhile, at our locals, where we house 64 plus people, I barely ever see Yamato. Which is kind of weird. Because you would think with the new structure decks, you would see a lot more Yamato around, but you really don't. And I think that's very unfortunate, but I think with the amount of Luffys that you generally see, with 8 cost Katakuris, Luffy being able to just be a 6k lead or a 7k lead with Gum Gum Giant, is kind of terrifying, so perhaps that's why you don't see a lot of Yamatos right now. It's a little easy to guard out of the banish swings while being a big body, you know? Speaking of which, we got 3 cards out of hand there, and that is a banish card as well with the Nami there, right? Nami, cool, Nami, Searcher, and a 2k. That is really good for us. Although, in this matchup, I typically don't like to guard out unless Yamato is swinging at me with banish. If it's just a regular double attack, I don't mind taking the hit. Now, when it gets to the later stages in this matchup, having Luffy on board really hurts the deck due to the fact that Yamato can't really establish Hody Jones and swing with lead and other characters on board because we are 7k lead, which is kind of nice. And speaking of which, let's go 6k first. I do want a ramp here. We'll get rid of that for now because that's 7. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get down Kid for now, in which Yamato cannot rest because they only have a 2 cost Hiyori on board, unless they play like something else and then 9 flash, you know, but then it wouldn't be able to swing on me for anything that's relevant. There's Luffy, perfect. I forgot we already had one in hand too. Get the Dawn back, and we're still at that stage where we have 4 active Dawn and nothing to play. Alright, I guess we just go heavy here. So it doesn't necessarily matter if you're not really going to play a Gum Gum Giant unless they have a banish. So maybe perhaps we need to save it. And we need to be able to keep up 3 Dawn for Hody Jones. Just in case they wouldn't be silly. Because what, that's... I mean, yeah, they could Hody here. In this situation, they rest the Kid and then 1 Dawn. Or they rest both Dawn, that way we have 1 Dawn left for Gum Gum Giant. 8 lead. I think generally this would be fine, but we have to counter out here as well. So they're going to play Momo here. They have 5 Dawn active. They're going to probably play a blocker. And Yamato doesn't really play anything else at a 5 Dawn unless they're playing Wano with Momo. And of course this is a Wano package with the Kikinojo of the Hiyori. So it's safe to say Momo is coming down here. Yep.
The Yori probably goes top life. No, okay. Why wouldn't you just swing with... Oh, I guess they don't have... Yeah, they don't have the Dawn to do that. So I guess they didn't have any choice there. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but alright. We'll burn it. We'll go 7 lead. Actually, we can go 8 here, can't we? Yeah, we can go 8 here. Because we want to be able to swing over the Momonosuke. Give us the bonus. Sure. And we can banish the Kikinojo here, or get rid of the blocker. I think this is fine, though. Yeah, we have to go 8. Oh, there's a giant. Well played. 2 Hodies in hand as well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will probably be the last game of the day, and then we'll dive into the end of the deck list here. I might play one more. It really depends on this thunderstorm right now, because shutting off power at this moment in time would not be a good time, especially when I'm editing. It is not fun. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get this game finished and to get everything situated and uploaded for you guys. But, again, we might play one more after this. It just really depends. In any case, coming at you guys with Nico Robin, playing into the one and the only Blue-Purple Luffy, in which I apologize to everybody out there who is playing this deck. If you guys don't know, there is a new ban wave coming in August next month. So, it's safe to say that your boy is gonna get some nerfs or some bans. You know, it's gonna suck for all of you guys out there that got all the alt cards and stuff for this leader. Let's hope they don't just ban the leader. Who knows? In any case, Nami. I don't normally see this card here in this list. It's kind of interesting. It's actually kind of nice though. It allows them to search out Red Rock and the Gum Gum Giant. So, or sorry, Blue Event. So it lets them search out just that and Gravity Blade, I guess. So it might feel a little bit lackluster because you bottom deck Gum Gum Giants. So it's a little strange, but each their own. Sure, there's Luffy. Yep. They played Gear 2 the ramp. I'll take that. We'd love to see it. Okay. You got a pass turn? Please? Thank you. Alright. We're on 6. Can't play Robin here, unfortunately. We'll bait him out with the kid. If he wants to Red Rock this, I don't necessarily mind. I'd rather him Red Rock the kid instead of Red Rocking our 6-drop Luffy here. Then we'll go... I think we have to hit him, right? There's no way we search. If we search, then it just kind of defeats the purpose of getting cards out of hand. So we have to go 6. We can ignore the Nami for now. We'll get rid of that. Because we're not going to get value out of that anymore unless he heals up. But he actually takes this hit here. Which is kind of crazy. Because he's only at 5 Dawn. So he goes to 7. 7 Dawn, you do what? Perhaps 7 cost Rush Luffy. I've seen some variants that are running that, which is kind of interesting. Nope. So there's a Red Rock. Sure. I don't know why he wouldn't have swung with the Bond Clay there. And then Red Rocked. Because that way he could have got cards out of hand if he attacked lead. So that might have been a misplay. Don't attack. Okay, never mind. I mean, what are you going to do? Unless he's treating the Bond Clay here as a pseudo blocker. I really don't see why he did this. But alright. Because unless this is like just to be a ploy for me to attack into it, there's not really a point of doing that. Did I just get big brained? I don't understand. What was the point of that? In any case, we're playing Luffy, so we're gonna go do our search. We do find another kid, which is nice. And the 2K. We'll take the kid. We have 2 giants in hand. Let's just go huge. I don't really mind if he does more damage next turn. I'd rather push him on 0 life. Nice, there's a Sanji. So Bond Clay can actually swing for 7 this time around. Because he can copy Luffy's ability, or Luffy's power here. But yeah, I think he was trying to get me to attack into Bond Clay. That way, I wouldn't have to go face here. There's the Big Mom. So he removes our Luffy, which sucks. He gets the heal up. Yep. Sure. And then he can attack us. Yo, that is so good, man. Being a 7k lead and telling Luffy, no, you can't hit me. That is so nice. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Sure. I mean, there you go. 4 cards in hand over there. We do get another kid. I think we can probably play the 7-drop kid here too. 7, 8, 9. It gives us 2 Dawn left. Yeah, let's do this first. This pushes us to a 6. We just go heavy here because we have 4 life. See if we can banish the last life here again. In case he plays another 9-drop mom. Oh, never mind. We got a Uso Hachi and a Onami blocker. Or sorry, a Nami blocker, which is good. And then next turn, we can for sure put him on 0, unless he heals here. He did draw Sanji, though. So it's probably another Sanji Big Mom. I'd hope not, but it probably is. Because other than that, he plays Sanji for 9, and then plays Katakuri down. Okay, so he's going to heal up. I mean, if he wants to heal me too, that'd be great. He doesn't necessarily have to, but at least he can go to 2 life here. Now he has 3 cards left in hand. No blockers up, so we should be able to at least do 2 damage next turn. Because he also has no Dawn. Sure. Wait, I'm confused. Did he minus the active Dawn or the rested Dawn? I did not see. I think he minus the active Dawn, right? He's on 8 now, isn't he? No, he's on 9. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so he did. He minus the active Dawn. Interesting. I don't know why he did that. Maybe that was a misclick from him. Going 6, we do have to counter it at some point. I'd rather keep the kid on board, though. Or a kid in hand, though. But we gotta get rid of something here. Sure. He probably is not gonna find anything here. Because Luffy normally utilizes a lot of purple events, not necessarily blue. Yeah, sure. Not necessarily blue. Bottom decking Gum Gum Giants probably feels pretty awful. Let's get down to Luffy. Thank you, Big Mom. Appreciate it. We'll swing with Kid first. This will make us an 8k lead. So we have 2 8ks going in the face. And I think we're fine, because now we're an 8k lead for next turn with 2 Giants in hand. And this right here will force us to put him to 0. I could clear board, but I'd rather go face here. Just put him on 0. Because now next turn he has to play a blocker down or another Big Mom. If he plays another Big Mom down, he cannot clear the Eustace Kid that's on board for 8k, because we have the counter in hand. Playing 8-cost Katakuri here would also be a little irrelevant, so I think he's cooked, to be honest. Yep, another Sanji, sure. Crashes the Nami. I don't know why you wouldn't attack first with Bond Clay here. Like swing with Bond Clay, then copy the kid. I mean, he did make another misplay, so that's like the second misplay he's made this game, technically. Not swinging here with Bond Clay and then minusing the active Dawn last turn for the Big Mom. Unless it didn't matter, he didn't have any Gum Gum Giants in hand, but still. And now we have to protect from 3 more swings here. So we'll Giant first, we'll get rid of Luffy. And then hopefully we draw some counter. Nice. Cool, so now we can actually just drop the 2k counter here. And then Giant again later. Or, yeah. I guess it really doesn't matter which way we do this, right? Because we play Giant here again, we just draw more cards. So, get rid of that, boost, nice. And then now we can give him the 2k counter. If he swings Sanji into it. If he's leaving up that extra Dawn, okay. I think this game's over then. He didn't swing that turn with Sanji either, so we'll give ourselves the boost. He He has one blocker up. He left the Dawn open. So he couldn't have attached the Dawn to Sanji because he needs his Gum Gum Giant here. So we go up to 9k. So that forces the block. Sure. Let's go 7. Sure. 11, 12, 13 for a following swing. He didn't even have a Gum Gum Giant. Gear 2. Crazy. I imagine that Nami hurt him a lot more than it would help. Or did help. I did tell you guys that was probably going to be the last game, give or take. But I decided to just take intermission. And then hopefully the thunderstorm went away, which it did. So we're going to come back at you guys right here, play a couple more games, and then we'll call it a day. We'll probably play maybe this one and maybe like one or two more, depending on how long they last. But I think we have, what, 5, 7 games, somewhere around there, lined up for you guys with this Robin list. But in any case, come at you guys with another one with Robin playing into Blackbeard here, unfortunately. Now, at our locals, our cap is 64. And most of the time on Sundays and Tuesdays, we actually reach cap, if not a little bit over. We can fit up to 72, I believe. Give or take, there aren't that many Blackbeard players at our local scene, period. Maybe you can count them all on one hand, which is really, really nice. So, there's not a whole lot of practice when it comes to in-person, unless you guys are going to like regional events, at least at my local scene when it comes to Blackbeard. Now, the deck itself is still very, very good, but so is Lucci, and you don't see Lucci either. Being able to play into aggro with like Robin or Zoro or Bella Betty, you normally have a very good time into this matchup. Now, this is why when I built this list, I tried to keep it in a way where I don't have a lot of on-plays, or I don't have to rely on a lot of on-plays. Yes, speaking of on-plays, I have like the 6-drop Nico Robin and the Bond Clay. But I'm not utilizing like 7-drop Sanji here, or the 7-drop Big Mom, for example, 6-drop Big Mom, for example, Yamato, or the 10-drop Brush Ace. Because I'm trying to play around Blackbeard, for example, because if you are going to a bigger scene, you guys will be seeing Blackbeard, whether or not it's at regionals or like a much more competitive area, you guys will run into this list. And if I can't beat Blackbeard, it's going to be a very, very challenging time for Nico Robin, just because she also has to deal with a bunch of other Luffy variants out there as well, which I feel like I do okay into, and definitely being a 7k leader really helps out, especially when it comes to this matchup here. Blackbeard can't really swing on me and develop board and be able to attack a 7k lead. It's kind of difficult. And speaking of which, we were able to capitalize here with the Nico Olivia and the Nico Robin this turn, which probably is going to set this man back quite a ways here. He's already at 3 life, 4 cards in hand. Being able to just threaten banish each and every turn doesn't net Blackbeard any cards, so he can't really just cycle out cards from life for his leader ability, which makes this a very unfavorable matchup, I would think, as a Blackbeard player. So, I will counter out here too. I need to keep the bodies on board. I know we have another one in hand here, but we're going into Tendon very, very soon, so I'd rather have multiple swings if possible. Ooh, that's rough, man. Being able to draw another Katakuri, ooh, that's not the best. So we actually have to get rid of our whole hand here, pretty much. That's rough. But at least Luffy survives. And with that being said, we should be able to just cook him on this turn, because we have a free banish here. We'll play down there, Luffy. I don't know why I did that, actually. That's my bad. That's my fault. Because I'm only going to be able to get the boost once, because I don't have enough Dawn on board. So, got a little overzealous here, but it's okay. Sure. And we'll just go 7 here as well. So we got 3 7k swings off this turn. Let's put this man on 0. Nice. Okay. So he is on 10 Dawn. If he plays down 10 cost Teach, he can only freeze 1 character, and he still has to deal with 3 other attacks this turn, and he can attack into lead here. Nor can he attack anything on board, because we're 6 and 7Ks. So Kuzan can't do anything, nor can Blackbeard here. And if he plays anything other than blockers, I don't necessarily think he's getting out of this. Sure. It's -3, so there's no 10 cost teaches coming this turn. There's a Finger P. Yep. So he's going to try to attack into Luffy, I imagine. A Lafitte goes for searching. Yeah, he's cooked. Yep, well played. He has Burgess in hand now, and probably nothing else I can do anything with at this moment in time. Because he needs, what, 2 blockers down? And then have counter. See if he wants to play again at the very least. Sure, you can have that. Okay, so there's 1 blocker there. Kuzan. You can't get back another blocker from trash here. Because Caribou is not for Blackbeard Pirates. That's unfortunate. Spec Doctor, pops to Olivia, sure. Ooh, get the kid. I guess we just go heavy here, right? We play Eustace Kid. We play Eustace Kid. Let's just go big here. Because this will make us, what, an 8K? And then we remove 2 Dawn for Robin, and she becomes a 9. We know he has Burgess in hand for a 1K counter. Sure. Caribou, Burgess, 2 teaches. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and do one more game after this one, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. I do hope you guys are enjoying today's games and stuff. This is something we haven't done in a long time here when it comes to Nico Robin, so this might be a leader in which I will be taking the locals very, very soon here, due to the fact that with the new structure decks and the new upgrades to Nico Robin, a lot of things have changed with this deck list, and it can be built in numerous different ways, which I'm very much looking forward to. But, with that being said, I'm going to try to get at least one more Luffy game in, or another Blackbeard, or one of the quote-unquote top meta decks if I can, but we'll see. I digress, this video has already gone on long enough. In any case, let's go 8K to face here. Hopefully we can put him down to 1 life. Nice. Another god. That's a god threat there. So that means he loses opportunity of ramping. If that had hit from another leader, he would have been at 8 Dawn here, and then his leader ability would have been active. So that's nice to see. Okay. I think I'm done after this one, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a lot of fun today with Nico Robin, and I apologize for the last Luffy matchup. You guys are probably going to be like, why'd you bother including that into the lineup here? Well, at the end of the day, a lot of my Luffy games have kind of ended like that, where I swing 8, 10K off my first swing, and I get that banish off, and it happens to be a trigger in which allows him to ramp. It really hurts the deck, especially when Luffy only has 3 life, and his opportunities of ramping come from life occasionally to take the hits early game, whereas in the late game he can kind of self-sustain, you know, with like the Big Moms and the Sanjis, the Katakuris. It's a little hard to do that when you force them to use Gear 2 or Gum Gum Giant early and set them back even further. Now, with a normal deck that doesn't utilize banishing, it's a little bit easier for him just to guard out or to take the hit, because he's going to trigger the, you know, the life. But with Yamato, with Robin, it's a lot more difficult. And speaking of difficult, this might be the first Blackbeard I played against in a while that is still utilizing Laboon. I know it's crazy, but a lot of lists still run this card. Like I mentioned before, our locals houses so many players. You can count Blackbeard all on one hand. There's a few of them that use it, but when Laboon's out, it's kind of scary, because it makes a lot of decks very, very difficult to play, especially when you want to play down a character, even though Blackbeard used his, his leader skill, and makes it where your on plays don't work. But with Laboon being on board with Doc Q, I can't really put anything else down here. Like, I want to play Luffy out, but he has Laboon. Outside of playing Luffy with a 6-drop, he plays down Augur, and he can't hit me. But with Laboon, he has ways of removing things, which makes it very, very difficult to play around here. And we don't have Zeus in this list, which maybe for this reason, it might be pretty good, but then again, Zeus is an own play, so I can't really rely on that to remove the Laboons here, so it's a little tricky. So I have to at least just throw bodies on board on the on the curves, in which if you know what he's going to play down there, then he can't play something else to pop something, if that makes sense to you. There goes a 7-drop Teach, and then a Tempest Kick, which is kind of nice to see. He hasn't found stage yet this matchup either, so this might be pretty winnable, even though Laboon's on board. The moment he decides to swing with Laboon, we'll clear it. We also can clear it next turn with Uso Hachi by playing Hachi down and resting it, then attacking into it, if he doesn't use Leader Skill. We don't have to trigger this is fine. But unfortunately, he does swing this turn, and he already used Leader Skill here, so I think we're fine. We'll counter out with the Katakuri here. And then we'll go 7 into Laboon next turn. If we can clear this, we can stabilize. Because he goes up to... Okay. He goes at 8 Dawn next turn. 8 Dawn. He's already seen a Tempest Kick. He needs Augur on board and a Tempest Kick to be able to clear the Luffy or Finger P. But he doesn't have enough with Finger P. Right? So I think Luffy is safe here. He's on 6. That goes to 8 Dawn. I think we're chilling, actually. I think Luffy gets to stay on board here, too. Which is kind of nice. Yeah, because Teach can't hit us. That's the second Teach, by the way. So he's running 2 in this list, it looks like. There goes a Stronger. Gets a 2k counter. 5 lead. We'll give you a Bonclay for now. So it seems he's going to need another Laboon here, or an Augur. He throws Augur away for Leader Skill, so he might have another one in hand. But regardless, he's not going to play it next turn, because he's probably going to play 10 cost Teach. So I think Luffy is safe to stick on board, unless he attacks into it with a 7 cost that's already on the field. So we're going to get as much damage in here as possible. And we're also going to stick down Bonclay this turn. That way he's forced to either let Bonclay live. Actually, nah. Let's just do this instead. Because just in case he decides to use Teach to pop something, which he shouldn't, he might just attack into Luffy with the Teach. Which is possible. Because 10 cost is coming down here no matter what. Unless he doesn't have it. But I think he drew it off of the feed earlier. Okay, so there's 10. Yep, sure. We still do keep the power, by the way, which is nice. Okay. Yep. I figured as much. So we're going to have to counter out here. We'll give him the Uso Hachi. If he doesn't Leader Skill next turn... Okay, never mind. Alright. We're still fine. We're still fine. Get a search off. Let me get another one, please. Nice. I was hoping for the 7 cost kid, but this will do. This will work just fine. So now we have 2 of these. So Luffy's ability now is free. We can actually go heavy here as well. I can only swing once, though, I think. So we can go 7. Because if I want to establish a Bonclay, I can. But if I want to swing over the Teach, I have to attach all my Dawn and not have up Gum Gum Giant. And then, in theory, then I guess he would just kill the 6 cost Luffy on board at that point. So I guess we just establish Bonclay here and pass turn. Because I need to have the Dawn for the Gum Gum Giant, just to protect Luffy here. And if we establish Bonclay, he's not going to be able to remove both. So I think this is good. Well, I guess he could remove both, but I think he wants to have another 10 cost Beard, or 10 cost Teach on board, if he has it in hand here. And if not, we're cooking. I think even with Beard, he blocks 2, he freezes 1. And then we still have 2 extra attacks left. In which we get the swing for 12k with Bonclay. Perhaps, maybe? Unless he freezes that. Okay, there's Augur. So he's going to pop Luffy. This Augur is just 3. Yep. Sure. Teach. Sure. 2 cards in hand. GG. Well played.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the end of the video, in which today we played around with Nico Robin here, blue, yellow, and OP11. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This leader is a lot of fun right now with the new structure deck that came out in ST26 with the new 6-drop Luffy. Very, very strong card here in this list. Let alone, I've seen so many deck lists think that this card here is too expensive, but when you have access to the 5-cost kit on board, and he's not an on-play, it is very, very good, especially if this thing can stick on board, which typically it does in a lot of matchups. So, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with these two synergies here. And with the new 7-cost kit, but with the older 7-cost kit from ST10 way back in the day. You don't see this card at all anymore, to be fair. But being able to become an 8k lead until the end of your next turn is just, oof, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Or sorry, to the start of your next turn, my fault. But in any case, there are multiple different things you can do to this deck list without hurting it too bad or what have you. Because you know Nico Robin can be built in numerous different ways. You guys can play variants with Yamato 9-cost, 10-cost Rush Ace. There's so many different cards top-end wise that you can utilize here in this list and do fine. I've already given you guys my preferences when it comes to what I would replace for the 8-cost category, because he kind of is a flex pick when it comes to this variation of my Nico Robin build. You can also go down on some of the 6-cost Robins or the 3-cost blockers here if you want to, and or dropping 2 Bond Clays. I never really feel like I need to play the 4-cost Bond Clay. I told you in the beginning this is kind of not a needed card. It's more of a just like, it's useful, but you don't need it in the list to do well, especially in this variation, because we aren't utilizing 9 or 10 costs. Our highest variation is going to be an 8-cost here. You can go up to 9 with the Luffys and the Big Moms and stuff, in which then you would want to keep Bond Clay into the list at a 2 or to a 4 cost, because you got to keep in mind you can toss a trigger out of your hand at any point when you swing to get the ramp up for free. So you have numerous ways of getting there when it comes to being on your curve. But I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please, by all means, hit that like on these videos so we get these things floating around. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that as well, because I will be smashing out as much content as possible, whether it's going to be sim and locals, let alone I will be updating the channel here very, very soon and letting you guys know what I have planned for the future. But either way, this has been Pawseplays. Hope you guys stay safe out there, and I will catch you guys in the very next video. See y'all later.